What is going on, y'all? This is Pay Me in Dividends, and today is January 6th, 2025. Now, before we jump into this video, let's do a quick portfolio review. I'm sitting at $86,281. Now, my holdings have not changed from the previous video. I still have 1,000 shares of AIPI at a cost basis of $50.62 a share. I also have 1,000 shares of MSTY at a cost basis of $32.41, meaning that I purchased each share at an average price of $32.41 a share. I also have NVDY at $24.15 a share. And I also have 100 shares of RDTE at $41.54 a share. So guys, this is the portfolio as of today, January 6th, 2025. 1,000 shares of AIPI, 1,000 shares of MSTY, and 100 each of MVDY and RDTE, which makes a total of $86,281. Now, let's take a quick look at the market, right? Let's see what the market has been doing. Let's see the activity with Bitcoin year to date so far over the past 5 or 6 days in the market. Bitcoin is up 5%, right? So it looks like it's playing around with that $100,000 range. Again, it looks like it'll cross it at some point, or maybe it'll stay under for a bit. We don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. But as of now, it is up 5% for the year. So it's starting off 2025 strong. Now, if we look at the S&P 500, we'll take a look at VOO or VOO from Vanguard, one of the better S&P 500 ETFs that'll pretty much track what the market is doing at any given time. VOO is good. SPY is also good as well. But we'll look at VOO today just to mix it up a bit. So year to date, since January 1st, it is about broken even, which is good, right? We have to look at 2024. The S&P performed very, very well, way above average. Typically, the S&P will return anywhere from 8 to 12%. Some articles will say 8%, some will say 12%. So if we split the difference, let's just say 10%. So the fact that it returned 24% for the year of 2024 was amazing. Hopefully 2025 is another amazing year for the S&P 500. So I just wanted to go over those two broad market metrics for you guys here in the beginning of the year. Now, as of today, January 6th, I have been paid twice, right? I have been paid twice. So first week of January, I received $59 from RDTE and $89 from NVDY, right? Because RDTE paid 59 cents a share on the 3rd of January, and because I have 100 shares, I received $59. NVDY paid 89 cents a share, which I think some people were disappointed because if we look at the history of NVDY, the last time they paid under $1 a share was back in January of 2024. So it's actually been a year, almost a year to the date, to where they paid under $1 a share. But listen, here's the thing. I don't mind, right? Because on average, they typically pay $1 or more a share. And at 89 cents a share for a $23 stock is still very, very good. As we can see, that's still a 49% yield. And as you guys know, I'm very big on having a good underlying asset. So when you have an asset like NVDY that is tracking NVIDIA and running synthetic calls on NVIDIA, I'm still very much bullish on Nvidia, which means by nature I'm bullish on NVDY. So I am very, very happy with this distribution rate this month, and I plan on accumulating shares moving into the future as well. So that was for January. As of now, as of January 6th, I've made about $150 between these two stocks. Now we still have AIPI and we still have Misty towards the end of the month. Now, if we go based off of last month, December, AIPI, I received about $1,400 from them. We'll call it $15. And Misty, I received about $3,000 from them. My RDT payment was lower because I only received one distribution in the month of December because I bought RDTE later on in the month. And NVDY, I just received my first payment from them this month. So I'm expecting a higher return for the month of January compared to the month of December. So minimum $4,500. It may be closer to 46, 47, depending on what MSTY pays. AIPI is typically pretty consistent around that $1.40 to $1.50 range. So they are pretty predictable, but I'm curious to see what type of option premium they were able to extract from MicroStrategy and how much Misty is going to pay at the end of the month. Now, this is something I want to share, guys, right? And I spoke about this in my last video. Last year, 2024, I made a little over $30,000 in dividends, total dividends. This is straight from my brokerage account. This is exactly how much I made in the year of 2024 in dividends. Now, in my previous video, I explained that I did not jump into high yield investments until after the midway point of 2024. Prior to that, I was in some lower yielding funds. I did have a couple of high yielding dividend stocks, but those high yields at that point I considered more like 8 to 15%. I had a lot of growth funds, tech funds, things like that, ETFs like VU, QQQ, things like that. So the beginning of 2024, I didn't generate much income. I generated a few $1,000s, but most of this $30,000 was generated on the back end of 2024. Now, I say that to say this, right? If I was able to extract $30,000 in cash flow from my portfolio, right, which is less than $100,000 portfolio, right? I'm trying to use this as motivation for y'all because you got to understand it doesn't take $1 million to create a good amount of cash flow. This portfolio that you see right here took me almost 5 years to accumulate this money, between putting money in there every time I got paid every 2 weeks. Anytime I had any extra money laying around, I would put it into my brokerage account. This was not overnight. This money was not given to me. This was a 4 to 5 year process of me saving, not going out every time I wanted to go out, not buying things on impulse, and actually being very strategic and having initiative to put my money away so that I could build this foundation. Now, I say all that to say this, right? $86,000 is a lot of money to me, somebody like me who started at zero and had to save and invest his way to this amount. However, there are other people on YouTube who have less money or have a ton more money, right? There's people on YouTube with $500,000 portfolios or even over $1 million portfolios. But here's the thing, right? I'm a lot more relatable because I still work a 9-to-5 job. It took me some years to accumulate this. And although I don't have $1 million portfolio, I was still able to generate over $30,000 for the month of 2024 without the entire year even being focused on high yield dividends. So what does that mean? going into 2025 now, right? We're in the new year. I plan on doubling down on high yield investments and turning this 30K into something closer to 70 or 80K, right? By the end of 2025, one of my goals is to be at 10K a month. Now, I may not hit 10K a month until the back end of 2025, maybe October, November. It may not happen all the way till December of 2025. Who knows? I'm only at 4,500 a month now, right? But as time progresses, as I continue to reinvest these dividends, right, and also put in my own money when I'm able to, eventually this mark is inevitable. It's just a matter of being consistent, being disciplined, and having patience, and most importantly, having fun along the way. So again, guys, I just wanted to reiterate what my goals were for 2025 based off of what I was able to produce in 2024. Give you guys a bit more insight as this channel progresses, open up to you guys a little bit more. I'm not a fan of exposing my brokerage account. I'm very protective of my personal space and just my privacy, but I do want to try to be a bit more open with you guys and let you guys know exactly how I got here and exactly how I continue to move forward, and how you can do this too, right? You can do this on an average salary. It's going to take time, but you just have to do it one share at a time. Now, here's something I want to show you guys, right? So the average American salary right now is around $63,000. Now, this is all based off SoFi.com, right? You can find other articles that say $48,000. Some say $55,000. Also, the average and the median are gonna give you two different results as well. But we'll go based off of this. We'll take this at face value, right? $63,000. We'll also look at Canada, right? 72,000 Canadian dollars per year. So if we convert that to US dollars, about 50 grand a year. And if we take a look at Australia, $98,000 Australian dollars a year, converted to US dollars, about 56 grand. So if you take all three of these numbers between US, Americans, Canadians, and Australians, you're looking at $50,000 to $60,000 US as the average salary, right? And so, and first of all, the reason I use those three countries is because based off of my viewers, it seems like those are the most people who are watching. But shout out to everybody else who's watching as well in any other country. This information applies to you as well. This is just an example, right? So if you're an American citizen, if you're a UK citizen, whatever the case is, and let's say on average people make $50,000 to $60,000 every single year, right? Now here's the thing: they have to go in and clock to work, right? The same way I wake up every morning, I go in and I clock in to work, just like every other average person goes in and clocks in and works and trades their time for money. Now here's the thing, right? Last year I made $30,000, right? So I made half of the American average salary just in my dividend portfolio. So imagine where I can grow this in 2025, right? Once I'm into, year 5 and 6 of my investment journey, because that's pretty much where I'm at now. I started investing in 2020, around the beginning of the global situation that happened, and now I'm going into year 5, year 6 of investing, and now I'm able to see the light, right? I just made half the Americans' average annual salary, and going into 2025, I plan on exceeding that number. Now, here's the reason I'm talking about this, right? I'm talking about this from the average person's perspective who took some years to build up these strategies and build up their money and be disciplined and be patient and go with the ups and the downs. And there were moments where I couldn't put money into my brokerage account. And there were moments where my brokerage account was down and I felt discouraged, right? But I continued to move along, and year after year I've built my account to where now we are approaching the $100,000 mark in total value, which I do plan on crossing within the next few months, depending on how the market performs, of course, but definitely by the end of the year, we should be over $100,000 in total portfolio value. And by the end of the year, we should also be generating over 50, 60, 70,000 plus a year. And at some point, we will hit 10K a month by the end of the year. That is my goal, right? So again, this video was more so for motivation purposes. I want you guys to put your goals in the comments again. Let me know how much shares of whatever particular ETF you're invested in. What is your goal, your monthly income goal for 2025, right? 2025. How would this type of money, right? How would this type of dividend income supplement your full-time job? You know, will it exceed your full-time job? Will it allow you to give yourself a bit more freedom and flexibility? Because that's really what this dividend journey is about for me. It's not necessarily about quitting my job and never working again a day in my life. It's about having peace of mind, right? It's about having the flexibility and the options to be able to move how I want to move without having to answer to someone, and be able to live the life that I truly want to live. And that may look different for everyone else, right? I'm blessed. I enjoy what I do as far as work. I would probably continue working for a while, even if when my dividend income does exceed my salary at some point. But now it'll be income that I can use to put into other investments. I can upgrade my quality of life, right? I can take more vacations. I can put that money into maybe real estate or crypto or a business, or I can simply just reinvest all those dividends back into the portfolio and continue building that income. But what it does is it gives me options, right? If you want to take a sabbatical from work for a year, or if you just want to quit and retire 100%, this gives you the options, this gives you the flexibility, this gives you the peace of mind to be able to do that, because essentially what you've done is you've created a salary for yourself, right? You've created a salary for yourself that you don't have to actually go in and trade your time for. So this is really what this video is about. It's motivation. I want you guys to stay locked in, stay motivated for 2025. It's easy to fall off the wagon. Everybody has new year, new me, new goals for January, February, and then you start to see people fall off. Don't fall off the wagon in 2025, right? Invest, save your money, invest your money, stay out of debt, make wise decisions, be disciplined, be consistent, stay patient, and have fun along the way while you're doing it, all right? One more thing I want to show you guys is Google Trends. Now, this is by no means a metric to use as far as, you know, what you should invest in, but I did find it kind of interesting, right? So I typed in Yield Max, and I also typed in JEPQ, which is from JP Morgan. Just two very, very popular, you know, dividend ETFs. And as we can see, based off of the past 12 months, right, the trend is going up. From left to right, we can see the trend is going up. Now, if we come down here, we can also see related queries, right? We can see YMAX, OT, MISTI, YMAX, MISTI. Right down here for JEPQ, we can see QQQI, FEPI, MISTI, IBIT, which is from BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. We can see QDTE from Roundhill. So again, this is by no means an indication of what you should invest in. But what it does show you is the fact that people are tuning in, right? People are tuning into these dividend ETFs. A lot of money is flowing through these ETFs. Yield Max alone, MISTI alone has over $1 billion market cap. MSTY, not MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy has a lot more than that, but MSTY already has over $1 billion market cap, meaning there's over $1 billion of retail investment money in that fund. The same thing with NVDY, right? So there's a lot of money in these funds. There's a lot of money in these funds. There's a lot of money in JEPQ and JP Morgan. So a lot of these funds are being pushed to the front because people are realizing that cash flow is necessary, especially as expenses go up, especially as cost of living goes up, especially as people begin to take pride in having freedom and being able to travel and work from anywhere in the world. People are looking for ways to grow, not only grow their 9-to-5 income, but also create a secondary source of income that they don't have to be tied to a location in order to earn. And so again, guys, this is just something that I found interesting. It's fun to look at Google Trends. It's fun to see what other people are researching. And again, this is a clear indication that people are putting their money into these ETFs. Again, this isn't necessarily the best way to judge a stock and whether or not to put your own money into it, but it is a good indication of where people's mindsets are and where the money is going. And like we've spoke about in other videos, you have to follow the money. So guys, I'm not going to ramble too much on this video, but again, just motivational purposes, I wanted to show you guys exactly where I was at, how much I've earned so far in the month of January. Again, we still have AIPI and MSTY, so I will be making a video towards the end of the month on those. And in the meantime, I will be putting out a couple other videos as well. So guys, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the video? What do you guys think about your goals going into 2025? Do you think it's realistic for you to create your own salary, right? To exceed what you make at your 9-to-5 job? If you believe it, then you can do it. It's going to take time, right? Everybody starts at a different spot. Some people have more money than others. Some people have more obligations or responsibilities than others. But in due time, with these high yield funds, you can definitely get to that point. So you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think? As always, I appreciate you guys checking out my channel, and I will catch y'all in the next video.